Hey,
I will.
Stream in Theory is live, although YouTube, about 10% of the time, it works first time.
Yep, we are
We
live.
are live, it is working! That is amazing, I say. Here we
Yes.
go. I've got it, yes.
Oh, Callum's readied up, buddy. Oh, he's got in his car. He's got in the car.
Good job.
There we go.
And it is that button. OBS. OBS. Hello, thank you.
I've loaded really quick again, like last week.
Uh-oh.
I think that's a spectator glitch. I can't lie.
Is it to do with crossplay lobbies?
Jeff's left.
You mean this new Philip Pavitt?
Yeah, Philip Pavich. Yeah, Pavich is already disconnected. I'll get him back in a sec once we've loaded.
For me the time is down to 17:32.
That's what it was for me last time.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I think this might be a bug when you're spectating a crossplay lobby. I'm not sure if it's to do with crossplay or to do with the normal bugs, because half of the bugs that people blame on crossplay are actually in the normal game. Like yesterday I had a race where we had to red flag it twice, once because there was desync in qualifying, partially caused
There
by
we are.
either Lebanese internet or the game, we're not really sure, and then we had to red flag it again after the safety car stayed out for about 5 laps.
Yeah, safety cars are good, aren't they?
Yeah. Unless you boxed under the safety car, and then your position is taken from what happened after everyone boxed, and then you get new tyres after the red flag, if you're in some crappy league or something. Also, I have people sleeping in the room I'm in, so I need to be kinda quiet. And also it means if anyone opens the door, like it's happening in the room beside me, your ears are going to like die or something. Because my microphone is like really sensitive right now, like I'm almost whispering to it now.
Right. So, we are here in Singapore then, and it's a dry qualifying, which I'm sure some people will be happy about, others maybe not.
I think
I know Mitch was looking forward to some rain.
I think a wet race would be interesting because you can do a 0 stop if you know how to do your setups in the wet. That's only if you get...
Just crank up the pressures a
Yeah,
lot.
if you don't, that means that you are going to not be able to, what's it called, do a nil stop. Although the nil stop is very powerful in a wet race, because the pit lane is like one of the longest in the season because it's the 60 km/h, and also overtaking is quite difficult. Oh, it's a dry race. Oh.
We've got a dry race for today. It's a change from last week as we've had another disconnect. Good start. And overtaking here sucks, yeah. I mean, at least we got DRS, I guess, now. So, first lap of the day is going to be David Hoyt in the Haas. Let's see how this goes for David, and I'll re-invite the Ferrari in a moment. Anyways, over the line to start the lap, and they're heading down towards turn 1 using all of the track to make sure you open up turn 1. Down to 4th, and not riding as many of the curbs as you normally could be due to a setup difference from the normal 11-11 you probably would like to run here, or it could have been a preference that David just wants to get a banker lap in. Anyways, David now is heading down the first DRS straight, and there's a 27.3 per sector. I don't know sector times here, so that doesn't really mean too much to me. Anyways, into sector 2, it is a bunch of sort of around 90-degree corners. Some are more forgiving than others, and then into the Singapore swing and under the well, through the Anderson Bridge. No, not the Anderson Bridge. Is it? I don't know.
I'm not sure if this is the Anderson Bridge. I could probably summon one of my cousins now from another room who isn't sleeping. But they probably don't know
Anyways,
where the track is. Or maybe they do.
into Sector 3 now. David is heading up towards the second thing that I don't know whether or not it's the Anderson Bridge. One of them is the Anderson Bridge. That's not a bridge, so that's just a tunnel, so it must have been the Anderson Bridge before that, I thought it was. As David has got an AlphaTauri just in front, but the AlphaTauri is going to finish the lap just before. David has any issues as I need to do a re-invite.
Invalidated.
Oh yeah, he did.
Cut the final corner.
I'm getting to re-inviting people as quick as possible.
Right now I'm riding aboard with Ennis, who is coming out of whatever turn that is. I think it's turn 3. Now onto the long straight, and now onto the braking zone of champions, as I think it might be called from now on. And now into the corner where Lewis tried to send it on Vettel, I think, and maybe got overtaken by Verstappen. That race was such a long time ago, but now going down into what used to be the Singapore sling minus the sling, as Harley sets the 38.5. And now Ennis takes a pretty deep line and is now going into the hairpin. Takes a pretty nice line, gets on the power, opens up DRS, and is now heading into another 90-ish degree corner. Gets some decent rotation on the power, now into the slow section. I think it's the apex nicely, staying off the curb on the inside. Now going under the stadium. Quite nice curb usage there, and now into the final chicane. Using a decent bit of the first curb, but staying away from the second one, now into the final corner, which is just a flick to the left. Keeps it within track limits on the apex, and sets the 39.1, which is enough for P3.
So there we go, we have our drivers getting back into the session. Who else is on the lap? I see Callum Pierce heading into the final sector. There's been another disconnect. People's internet apparently not working today.
Maybe it's your internet, but you've been able
I don't
to talk
think it's
to
mine.
me.
Mine's running completely fine.
Yeah, I've been listening to you completely fine. And those on stream, has the internet been running completely fine? Callum Pierce is into the box.
Yeah, a lot of people have boxed actually after that.
Yeah, should we ride on board with our Davy driver, who is Philip Pavic, who is also known as my former engineer that I threw out of a window because it wasn't very good, and then replaced it with a voice actor into it. He's trying to do the exact same lines and is just as bad.
What?
I'm talking about Jeff, remember?
Oh. Yeah. I understand now, yeah. Anyways,
Mark and
we
Jeff.
have...
So after the
Arjun.
sitting is the Anderson Bridge according to Zeke Lapage.
Got that one correct at least. Anyways, Arjun is in the final sector. He's not got much battery left, but I mean, doesn't matter all too much here, I can't lie, unless you're on the straights of the first
Shut
and
up, I
second
know that
sector.
Mark isn't an actual voice actor, but I'm going to pretend he's a voice actor because he says the exact same thing as Mark did, except with a fresh voice.
I'm making sure whenever I scroll through menus to invite people that I do it slowly, because if I go quick through menus, the game will sometimes just yeet me off. As
Why is Philip doing such a slow outlap? Are his tyres
someone I
too
need
hot?
to invite is, yeah, not online.
Uh-oh.
Great. Yeah, Mitch is on a lap and he's invalidated turn 1.
Not good.
So Pavic is now on a lap. And he hasn't invalidated turn 1.
I'll do a bit of onboard camera.
We already have 13 people watching the stream. Thank you everyone for coming and watching us.
That's
Pavic
actually
flying
quite
through
good.
that corner. Yeah. Yeah, it's better than we had all stream last week. And oh, that's dodgy. Aston Martin on the racing line.
I mean, it's a straight.
It was right before the corner.
Yeah.
Could definitely be reported, I think, that. I don't know, but we'll have to see. Someone's pinging me.
We're just like each other, we always complain when people ping us. Usually unnecessarily.
Going back to do another invite. There we go.
We're riding in bad, on board, not on bad, with Philip, who's actually taking the corners quite nicely. What's happening to this lobby? It's actually using a lot of curb on the first apex, which is a sign of confidence, and now into the stadium bit. Now into the final chicane, using all the road on the first curb, but not much on the second apex, and now into the final corner. Keeps it nicely within track limits across the line, and this is a 1 minute 39.8. He was on a lap. I think Darius has backed off. What about Mitch? Currently in P12, although that's because he hasn't set a lap yet.
I'm still on my re-inviting duty. And my game crashed by re-inviting someone.
That is not ideal.
It's fine. I'm sure it'll pick a good lobby host.
Migrating host. Only now it's giving me the message on my screen, as Mitch has binned it and lost his front wing through the former Singapore sling. Who is lobby host now? This could be a problem. The good news is that I'm still in the lobby. Is David Hoy on the lap? He is, and this time he did not invalidate, and it is a 37.9, which puts him on pole by 6/10. It's actually quite a decent margin. Who else is on the lap? Should we find more with?
Can I try and find out who the lobby host is then?
Maybe.
Because otherwise I can't get back in the lobby. But at least we've got a stream. We can restart after quali.
Yeah. Or we could just ask someone for their POV, so then we get the results that way.
David Hoy is not the lobby host. Kyle Mack is not the lobby host. You're not the lobby host.
Oh.
Lucas Rudd is not the lobby host. Mitch is the lobby host.
You know how that went. Out in Bahrain. Hopefully he doesn't bin it in any way. But we might have to tell Mitch to not leave the lobby, like, tell him to write it down. Oh, we're re-lobbying after qualifying.
Yeah.
That takes minutes. Okay, you can set up the new lobby now, unless you want to join in and commentate.
I'm
Right.
still watching.
Ooh, Ennis goes even quick. What, a 37.3?
37.3.
Is that quick or not?
It's 2/10 off my time trial.
Right now I'm riding on board with Darius, whose steering wheel apparently has 104-degree tyres. So, not good. And those
Happily getting
hot
kicked out
tyres
to try and get other people
are
back in.
inducing understeers. But anyways, we go into the final corner with 105 degrees tyres, and it's very wide, and it is a 1:42.2, which is 5 seconds slower than Ennis, so really not the best lap. Is Carl Mack on a lap? I think he's on an outlap maybe because the battery is not turned on yet. I think he's starting a lap now.
Anyways, I'm back and I can watch stuff at least.
Good. Now we're riding ball with Carl Mack, who is going into turn 1, 2 and 3 now. Down to second gear and the throttle. Going up through the gears now into whatever turn that is. I'll switch to an off-board for some variety. And now going into whatever corner this is, I'll just call it the braking zone of champions. And now into this 90-degree corner, and into another 90-ish degree corner, although it is more open than a lot of the other 90-degree corners. And now Kyle is going into re-tap the wall on entry there. Hopefully didn't give any wing damage, but it's very close with the walls again and again. Now going into the hairpin, clobbers the inside curb and also clobbers the wall. This has not been the greatest lap from the driver. Currently P4 in the qualifying thing and P5 in the standings right now. But going into the chicane, it's pretty decent in all honesty. Now into the stadium thing, nice and clean. Now into the final chicane, staying away from the curves, which can be a bit iffy at times. And now into the final corner, letting on the throttle nice and early. And it is a pretty decent improvement of 6/10, showing that the track is definitely getting faster and faster. Who else is on a lap? Is Arjun's on an aborted lap. I think Philip might be on a lap right now, as Luke hasn't spoken in the past minute. Maybe he's sorting something out, as I should probably stop moving my head away from my mic and start.
The answer is yes, I am sorting stuff. And currently we have an argument on who starts 13th and 14th based on if Mitch gets a lap, and they're having a look if they can decide who starts higher by pit coins, or the amount of pit coins that they have.
What?
I don't think that's a valid method of setting the grid.
There's this rule that the FIA has, which is that if there is a dead heat even after countback, the FIA may choose the winner based off anything they want.
So, anyways, Mitch to the line, P6. Not bad for Mitch.
Yeah, and I think he'll be starting the race on softs as well, and trying to make a few positions
It is a Mitch
up.
thing to do.
Yeah, although I'm not sure how durable the softs are at this track.
David Hoy's 7 seconds down in sector 1.
The softs are definitely quick at this track, because we did a 100% race here, and the softs were like alien fast for like 5, 6, 10 laps maybe, but that's in a 100% race. Tyres doubled it in a 50%, which means that the amount of laps that they have a massive advantage for will be half as much, and then the mediums are just a much more durable tyre. Not sure about the hards.
Just jumped to P6, I've seen.
That is ahead of Mitch Snape.
As Harley's on a good lap.
We're riding board with him
already
the
half
final
a second
sector.
up.
Yeah, the times are tumbling down, and it's a pretty nice chicane.
As Lucas Rude has retired. As Harley now to the line, P2. As Ennis is just in
quick.
another league today.
Actually, very quick might be a bit of an understatement if I am being completely honest.
Oh, that's Williams in the wall, and right in the tunnel there.
That is not good. There's no one I can ride on board with to find it. Actually, the checkered flag is out. I didn't realise the time I had gone this quickly. We'll ride on board with David Hoy, who won the previous race Although you don't want to take that curb.
And this is
I
also
believe.
improving.
Yeah. I think his
Oh, he's
main.
almost gone into the wall there, though.
I think David's main hope will be to overtake Harley to get a front row seat to the first corner. So he's taking the
Yeah, and
middle
this has
sector
not
quite
had a
nicely.
tidy final sector. But he's coming to the line now. And yeah, he lost over a tenth and a half in the final sector.
Maybe it was just like Lewis Hamilton's 2018 pole lap.
David Hoy's
Banker was
currently
too good.
on board to beat Harley. As can the Haas driver, or the reserve driver I should say, do it? We'll have to see, as he's got a few corners left to go now. And will shortly be heading to the line. And just carrying speed through the final corner, right on the track limit, trying to gain anything he can, and no, he doesn't
3
improve.
milliseconds slower. We might have lost that all from clobbering one of the curbs too much.
And Marcus Carlos has backed off, so let me get a screenshot.
And then we can do what's it called, the new lobby.
Yep.
The driver will the least number of misdemeanor penalties, aka penalty points, then warnings, then number times reported, then internet warnings.
Alright, I'm gonna back out.
Apparently the cleanest driver will be put ahead, and I think someone has done a bit too many reset to tracks to be eligible for that. Although I think we should do it per race competed.
Potentially.
Is the MXLDI Sam Hussein? I think so, right? Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna quickly dip out the lobby then.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not. We're not gonna dip out the lobby. I'll just have to wait for it to start.
You can quit the game, but that also takes time. Here's all the tyres everyone used, but they get new tyres. So we're definitely doing a new lobby. You can just quit the game, actually it's only 20 seconds left. So, lobby restart incoming. Now I need to remember which button it is. Got it. Nice. It's good when you get the correct button.
Okay. So you just have to bear with us with a few minutes because we got to set the grid and stuff.
Apparently this is Ennis's favourite track by far.
I'm dipping out to go make the new lobby.
And I'm also dipping out. I could commentate the carnage that is this original lobby. Although if they see the commentators leaving, that's normally a sign that there's been a restart.
Yeah, if you want, Brendan, just tell Ennis to just do about 10 360s into as many people on the grid just to let them, you know, get the message.
What's this elimination event thing? That's on the F1 game.
Limited time mode.
Oh, it's an online thing. Oh, the session no longer exists. Great.
Oh, what? Did everyone leave?
I don't know. No, this is the elimination event. I haven't had time to see what it does, so I'm doing it now, though I probably shouldn't do. Do you have any idea what this is?
It's a new mode that I did and it's not good.
What does
Oh,
it...
my accent is stuck an AR on the grid.
What do you do in it?
So basically you drive and it like gets rid of the person at the last in last place every 40 seconds or something.
Okay.
I don't really understand the point of it. I can't lie, but yeah.
I guess it's an interesting challenge. What if we did that at the end of... What if we did that at the end of every lap, and then you just get removed and pulled, and the person who's last place who hasn't been pulled after each lap gets pulled, and the winner's the last person to get pulled, and we don't tell them when they get removed, so they have no idea what the strategy is and what's happening.
Currently going through my list of friends, inviting everyone who is online. Are you in the lobby?
I am in the lobby.
Perfect.
I am going to get a drink now.
You might as well, you got some time.
And you need to entertain them with a quiz.
A quiz. I don't have any quiz questions, but yeah. Well, I'll just keep everyone updated. So at the moment, we're trying to get people back in the new lobby. We're halfway there, but we're not going to say the rest of that because yeah, I don't know, copyright and that. David Hoy's sweating TT or something, apparently. Adam's got a question. How many previous winners of GRS Singapore has there been? You might as well just ask the question, how many times have we won Singapore?
I don't know.
I can't lie, I'm trying to remember myself. I'm not going to give my answer there.
Ooh, we have an answer, I think, in the chat. What are the quiz questions? How many laps is a 100% distance race around Singapore? Anyone in chat? Or is there a lot of latency in the stream? I'm not sure. We have one answer so far. Is it the correct one? I'm not so sure. You might want to be careful when copying other people. I'll give you 10 seconds on my screen, which is probably like 1 second on your end. And then I will declare the answer is
I'm just
61 laps.
sorting the grid out like.
Yeah, that's difficult. That requires your full and undivided attention to set the grid.
Harley
Like,
Davidson.
I'm not joking.
David Hoy.
Yes, Jeff is about to win. Good, yes.
Oh man. Then Argent.
Remember, no heroics into Santa Vot.
Then Jeff himself. Already become an absolute legend. That's how it works.
No, he didn't get fired for Mark. Mark is a voice actor. He's trying to do the exact same thing as Jeff, but with a fancy voice and all of that.
Then it was Zolf. Okay, I've got everyone set. I just need Sam.
Mitch has said in the Tier 3 chat, hope South Korea is winning. I can look over the corner of my shoulder where it's on the TV.
I don't think they're winning.
And
but...
I don't think they're winning. I think they are very not winning. Like, it's not even half time and they're like really Senegal not winning.
Oh, what is it? 3-0.
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't been looking at it,
Oh.
I only see the score.
Yeah. That's
Yikes.
yeah, not ideal.
Yikes moment as Ennis's PS4 is going to blow up. So start soon.
I'm still trying to invite Sam. He's still not online though. I'm inviting him despite him being offline. So, you know. But you know how that goes. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Alright, now I got an invite. Oh! Have we done it?
Maybe.
We've done it. We've done it.
Oh, we've done it. Everyone's in. Let's go.
Anyways, I just need to move him ahead of Callum and then, wow. Epic. Done.
So Zeke said in the chat, so what you're saying is Mark for Jeff like you for Luke. I don't get it. You're confusing me. Oh wait, I've just checked the scoreboard and it is now 4-0 to Brazil.
Uh-oh.
And we are 37 minutes in.
We're going.
Ooh, we're going. That button. And we're good.
We're on our way. How we're on our way? Not a clue. But we've done it. We have a grid.
Yay.
Is it set correctly?
Hopefully.
Yes, the answer is yes, it is set correctly. Oh,
Good.
amazing. Unless it's just like reset itself. Right, here we go. Thank you to all 14 of you who've sat through that break. As I've connected really quick again. I love crossplay lobbies. They're so amazing. From time to time. Oh, great! We've already had a disconnect.
Hooray. Or not. Apparently, according to OBS, me whispering into the mic like this is actually very loud.
It's a bit cursed. I'm not sure how I feel about that personally, you know, but anyways.
I'm looking in the Mercedes garage and I see soft compound tyres. Is Mitch in the Mercedes? No, he's not. I think he's in the Red Bull. And we've got a countdown timer now, and it's disappeared.
You've got a countdown timer,
I
right
had it and it disappeared.
I've got waiting for players.
Yeah, I've now got the waiting for players. As welcome to the ASMR GP, everyone.
Brilliant. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there.
Slowly but not so surely. I'm surprised no one's readied up yet. Ooh,
There we go.
Back.
We're going. Everyone was just making sure that they're set up.
Imagine if someone didn't load their setup.
Whenever I can get Sam back in, I'll try.
The default setup has a front wing of 28.
In Singapore.
Yeah.
Was it 28:38 or something?
Yeah, 28:38.
Oh, you're not surviving a lap with that. Anyways, I'll be at the grid. We are.
Yes.
And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Singapore, and lights it, and we don't go, but Callum Pearce has got a jump start, so he's gone early, and everyone is crawling away from the line as Harley's challenging Ellis into turn 1 to the inside. The Aston Martin goes, but Ellis hangs it around the outside, keeping the position to start with as there's yellow flags. Someone's gone, I think that's Pavic in the Haas. Not quite sure what's gone on there. Harley's still trying to challenge Ennis. I think this is what he needs to do early on in this race if he wants to stop Ennis from running away, and he's doing so. There's a bit of contact there. They almost went flying into the wall. But there, as David Hoy's going to try go through the middle of them, couldn't quite do that. Ennis moved across to block that from happening, as Ennis is going to lead the way here. Runs a bit wide, might have picked up a track limit warning for that, but I don't think he would have. He was quite slow off track, as everyone's putting him under pressure here to try and get the positions further back. There's another yellow flag. I think that is Mitch in the Red Bull, as he's dropped all the way down to 13th place. As everything kicking off here, the front three starting to build a bit of a gap over Carl Mack. Carl Mack's just immediately closed it straight back in though. And yeah, everyone's a bit chaotic all over the place here, as we just keep looking all over, just trying to find one thing that's happening. The chaos is everywhere, as Ennis has managed to keep his place on lap 1, which I'm sure he'll be pretty happy with.
Should we check the tyres?
Yeah, I'll get that up. Mediums and hards for everyone. Although outside the top 8, I don't think it'll matter. I think everyone's got damage maybe, or they're just taking it careful.
It will also be interesting to see
there's
who's
just
gone.
a bit of a gap that's formed. Oh no, that's a front wing gone under the tunnel. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was yeah, it was the Williams of I'd say Laurizio, because we don't, I can't remember the name. It's another debut driver, as Callum Pearce gets a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pits, and
Also,
it looked like Harley
through.
exceeded track limits.
Although Carl Mack is right on the back of David Hoy on the medium compound tyre, which is, I think, close to a second lap quicker at the start.
There's pressure here.
But someone
Ennis
who's
is
under even
coping.
more fresh is David Hoy, who gets overtaken by Carl Mack. He goes down the inside with the advantage of the medium tyres, and he's going to set chase to the leaders of Ennis and Harley, who are currently 1 and 2 on the hards.
Pavic goes around the outside of Marcus Carlos for P9 in this race. And next up has the Red Bull of Mike, who, I don't know if part of his front wing was missing there. I didn't see, as Kyle's now looking for a move on Harley, who's dropped a second off of Ennis. As I've been informed of the name, it's Lowry Uspelto, which is the Williams, currently in 13th. And I've tried to re-invite Sam again, but he's not appearing.
I'm riding aboard with Philip now, and he's right on the back of Mike with the better tyres right now, although the tyre wear will start kicking in a few laps, as Mike runs really wide through both corners of the chicane, as Ennis sets the 43-1 and is running away with this race right now.
As the AI car of Sam is causing some issues for Marcus Carlos, getting in the way a bit. Although the AI difficulty is on like 50 or something, so it's sort of just there to make sure it's better than 40, because if it's at 40 then people lose a ridiculous amount of time just for disconnecting, so we want to make it so people don't lose too many places. And we have balanced it to be slower than
Philip's going around the outside of Mike, and he makes it work before they even reach the braking zone. Although back on board with Carl Mack right now, who is still on the better tyre and might be wanting to go for a move on Harley, so he can set chase to Ennis before Ennis's tyres become better.
As David Hoyt has some company behind him of Arjun Senapati and Darius Mazahari. And it's a good start for Alfa Romeo, P3 and 6 at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be reasonably happy with that.
Currently not a lot of action in the race so far. It's been kind of quiet.
Lap 1 was a bit chaotic, but everyone's sort of just finding their feet in this race. And this isn't running away here. Harley's so close to the DRS, but he just can't get in it. He does have a little bit of a battery advantage by about 5% over Ennis, so maybe you could use that 5% to try and get in the DRS, as he's had a bit of a moment on the inside curb there. One's wide and he's not going to get DRS on this occasion, but it doesn't look like Ennis is going to have it as easy as qualifying made it look.
Yeah.
So Harley's ERS is 40. They're both the same. Both of them have identical ERS.
Oh gosh, this is an engineer asking the ERS. How about...
Oh, Zolf's gone deep there. Ooh, that was close.
You know what? I feel like being mean because I know you're engineering for Ennis. I'll do that. So now you don't know how much battery Harley is on. However, Karl Mack was saying he was going to close up to the back. Not really, he's dropped out of DRS. What's Harley's... Oh, I'm reading the same message again. But you're getting pranked because I'm not going to give it to you. So
Well, I've already told them that
it.
it's literally identical, and it still is literally identical at 41. There's yellow flags.
Mike has a bit of a snap out of the hairpin after the Anderson Bridge, and that will allow Marcus Carlos to get through.
Everyone's sort of just struggling to stay within DRS ranges, but someone who's close back in his Harley now, who is back in the DRS
damage
of
he's in the pit.
Oh, yeah, Karl Mack's in. And he's got a speeding penalty.
That's not ideal.
Quite easy to do at Singapore, to be fair.
Is he going for a wing swap? Apparently Marcus is doing his first race on a wheel today. Is Singapore a wheel track or a pad track, or in between?
It's a bit... I'd say it's in between, definitely. You can definitely be really quick on a pad at Singapore.
I don't think it's like Jeddah, where wheel OP. What's a pad OP track?
China. I think I'll improve that one in F1.
Oh yeah, and also Owen was like a second a lap quicker than me until his tyres were in puncture territory, and mine was still at like 50%.
Yeah.
And then I was able to keep up with him. Right now, Arjun is just within DRS of David Hoy.
So what have we got so far then? Oh, Harley's just accidentally just slammed the brake on mid-corner.
What?
And lost 8 tenths.
That is odd. I guess that will give Ennis
no,
a bit
like,
of breathing room.
Issues or anything for the Aston Martin drivers. That would not be fun.
Issues are what we call not ideal in this business. But someone who isn't having not ideal issues is Arjun, who is right now one of the few drivers within DRS range, as Philip Jeff has now gotten a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As Kyle Mack had the biggest lag ever, it's weird. And are you texting whilst driving? You're driving. Oh,
teleported into someone and got damage. That could be a connection issue with one of the drivers. If you know who that was, then you can report it. But anyways,
I like the helicopter shot the game is giving me.
I'm not getting no helicopter shot. Oh, I am. I'm getting the helicopter shot. Lovely.
Do you remember at the Spanish Grand Prix when they tried to do the drone thing?
Live drone.
I don't understand how it was that bad.
Nah, live drone, mate.
And Zika said that's what everyone texting and driving says.
Netcode. I think the game's just struggling today. They've updated the game and it's having a bit of a meltdown.
Yeah, I think everyone's too busy getting eliminated or something. Maybe the game is trying to eliminate everyone when it's not
I
supposed to.
tell you what, the best part of this update is we no longer have to deal with the terrible when people put the throttle down and it automatically makes loud noises.
I haven't had that problem since last year's game, on my end at least. But Harley has been DRS and here's his battery. There's noises in my room.
Oh yeah, and if Brendan wants a battery, then Harley has way more.
Oh, that is a big oof for Ennis, who definitely had the quali pace.
Marcus Carlos is locked up. I think he went into a wall. Yeah, he's lost his front wing.
That is really not ideal.
I think this whole race is just keep it at a wall, realistically.
Yeah, just like Monaco.
Right. Yeah, Ennis is going to be under pressure from Harley this race.
Yeah, after Harley made that mistake, I thought Ennis was comfortably going to win, but I guess not. As Arjun has now dropped out of DRS of David Hoy, and Ennis is... Has he pulled out of DRS? No, he has not, for this time
Please
being.
don't crash.
But that is a massive slide on the rear for Harley, and he is now 1.1 seconds behind, although he used a bit of battery to get on the bubble of the DRS for the next detection point, which is in a decent amount of time. It's still 6 corners away.
So that's good.
As Harley hits the wall.
Did he get damage?
Wing looks fine. He might have gotten away with it. How has he gained so much time through the chicane? Sam's back in.
Sam's back and he's in P10 at the moment.
He's not actually doing too bad.
Yeah, a lot of people have had to pit. It's helped him out massively. There's his yellow flags. Callum, I think he's been in the wall about 10 times, but hasn't really got much damage. He's missing an end plate now.
Well, he needs skill to spin without getting damage.
I've seen him spin 10 times, but he's only pitted once. So...
I guess that is talent. Because you need pure skill to do a 360, no scope, or whatever you like to call it.
Whatever the kids say these days.
Oh.
Sam's disconnected once again. As Callum's also caused a yellow flag once again and is not far from being a lap down currently.
Those are all things I call not ideal, but I've said not ideal so many times. The strength of its meaningness is not ideal anymore. Through
it's
overuse.
Fading away.
Yes. And I've probably not idealed all of you out.
I also can't remember my password.
Uh-oh. Password for
on
what?
my phone, but I got it the second time, so it's fine. Don't ask how I forget the password to my phone.
That seems like a big skill issue.
It didn't want to recognise me. So, yeah.
Is that your skill issue or the phone skill issue?
I think both.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I'd say 50-50.
But Harley's doing well to stick within DRS of Ennis. And I'll do a quick battery check. The difference is still about 10% between them. So not much is really changing, but it will be interesting to see who's doing better on tyre wear. As Harley gets a massive snap, which is not going to be ideal for his tyre wear.
I think this is just, they just both need to keep it at a wall as Harley almost goes into the wall.
I think he tapped it, but front wing looks fine.
Really aggressive with like the limits of this track to try and get up to Ennis. Which might not be the best thing to do, honestly.
Well, he tried.
Maybe just sticking close and going for a strategy difference, like an undercut and
Yeah.
overcut could be the play.
What lap do you think they'll go in?
1918, somewhere around there. Not that year specifically.
Yeah, I think that's the lap you go if you, under normal circumstances. But if you need an undercut, I would go like maybe a few laps earlier.
17 probably.
Apparently Rose tyres are going to overheat soon. I'll actually check on the tyre temperatures on the steering wheels. So right now, and this is 96 degrees peak.
Harley's 99 on the rear right.
Yeah, and it's high on the rear than the front, which is a bit worrying because it could introduce sliding. David is
And we have seen Harley sliding, to be fair.
95, I think. Arjun is 94. Darius is 104. So I think his pressures are a bit too high. If I'm being completely
Also,
honest.
fair play for no one retiring so far.
That's actually impressive. We'll go back on board with the leaders again. As right now Harley is a bit closer to the back of Ennis.
Oh, Harley's hit the wall. That could be big damage.
No.
No, he's gotten away with
Where's
it.
this DRS?
What's happened to the standing damage and full yellow cars people had the other day?
I think
Or
it's
last
because
week,
Harley has too much skill and is able to smash the wall in the perfect way to avoid getting damage. Well, he's dropped out of DRS.
But has decided against pitting, interestingly.
Callum Pierce has had another spin at turn 1.
If anyone wants to go for and count those, that would be interesting. And yeah, you're right with the
99 degrees on hards.
Temps for some people is going to be really bad on the mediums, and especially if they have to go softs at the end.
I don't think anyone will go softs unless there's a late safety car.
Yeah. Harley has stole a Merc front wing from this year, made from Nokia 33010s.
Yeah,
he has literally got Hamilton's front wing. That's what he's decided to install for this race, although he is losing a significant amount of time.
So maybe
making me think there is some lasting damage to that front wing. As David Hoyle is also close by a second and a half.
And he's in the
Yeah,
pits.
Harley's in.
So that was
he's now got 21 laps on mediums to do.
Probably praying for a safety car at this point.
Yup.
Yeah, and he does go for mediums. And they don't swap the wing.
Oh no. When it's a tight street circuit with tons of ends going on, and softs is a bad idea. Yeah, pretty much, unless it's like a last safety car sprint.
You can make the same argument for, what's it called, the hards. Because softs just go off at the end and hards are just always terrible.
I'm interested to see, Harley has got a lot of clean air, and if he can, you know, put in some good laps on these mediums, could he potentially bring himself back close by the time everyone else has to pit? Because if he can get track position, not everything's bad, if you think about it.
According to Zeke Leapage, the softs are mega here, and you can make up a pit stop in about 4 laps, apparently.
I mean, we saw what happened when I was on softs against your mediums. That was like 2 seconds a lap or something.
I don't know.
And after 3 laps, it faded down to like half a second a lap.
Yeah.
It fades by about half a second a lap, as yeah, David told you that's not ideal. He has actually been taking some time out of Ennis, but not really anything that's gonna worry the Mercedes.
Arjun doesn't have a penalty as well. Mike's gone for the softs. However, he is close to a lap down, but new softs should be faster than old hards by quite a decent amount, actually. like maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds a lap. Although
Honestly,
the
the
difference,
fact that we've gone 12 laps and no one's out yet.
that is
Well, there's been a
impressive.
few front wings and a few spins. It's an AlphaTauri round. I think that's Marcus Carlos still adjusting to that wheel. So, I mean, I was terrible when I first raced on wheel. I finished 2 laps staying in a race. That was a pre-season
2.
race, and in the first race of the season, I beat my teammate, but still finished a lap down because he went on wets at Kota when it was fully dry.
And this was on last year's
Twice.
game when
Yeah, this was last year's game.
the wets were not ideal
Dreadful.
in the dry. Actually, dreadful is probably a better word.
But on this year's game, you can run, indoors or wets on a dry track. You won't lose much time because game physics make next to no sense, realistically.
I think it's more realistic than last year because on last year's games the inters would switch off as soon as there wasn't any water, even if they weren't overheating.
Yeah. I don't know. This game always has some weird physics that make no sense.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. Lucas Rudd has closed up to Zolf, who... Oh,
What happened?
interesting. I think he went a bit deep in a really weird corner to go. Zolf's disconnected.
You can invite him back.
Now we play the game of will my game crash? It normally crashes on the 3rd time of me tabbing off to invite someone. And guess what time it is?
Wait, do you have to tab off to invite someone?
No. Well, it's on the escape menu, but your game will crash.
Oh.
And it's not ideal. So I'm just going to give it a few seconds. And I'm going to go invite now. I think it's if I do it a lot of times in a short period as well.
Sometimes computers can be a bit weird and confusing.
Zolf is online. Don't crash my game. Okay. We are good. The invite has been sent and my game has not crashed.
That is decent.
Okay, so Zolf should be able to get back in. As Arjun's actually dropping out the DRS of David slightly, who's taken a lot of time out of Ennis, I will say.
Yeah.
Ennis may be taking it easy. As what happened is Zolf got migrated to a new lobby.
Split lobbies. That happened yesterday in a race we did where someone I was on a call with and was right behind got split lobbies, and that meant I lost DRS to someone who fortunately for me got a track limits on the final lap.
As 2 drivers in off the mediums, Pavic and Lucas Road. Zolf has managed to be back in the lobby. This is a yellow flag, and that's Mike Atherton in the Red Bull. On board with Ennis. Oh, he's just gone too deep as Ennis has gone all over that debris. That's our safety car.
Yeah.
It took 14 laps. You know what? That's really good from everyone to go 14 laps without a safety car. And I will say well done. Because I don't think F2 and F1 are making it that far. But this is going to spice the race up there.
Yeah.
As Harley's going to be back to P4 after this. The front 3 will probably stay the same. They'll all go for mediums to the end from now. They'll be okay. Maybe even Harley might pit again, potentially. Depends what tyre allocation you picked.
They should have gone for the harder allocation, which gives you 2 sets of hards if there's a lobby restart.
Well, PTF3 made it 14 laps. Adam said if we make it 14 corners tomorrow, it'll be a great success. I mean, last week's race was really good in F2.
I wasn't watching that.
It was a lot better than Bahrain, I'll tell you that. Bahrain was a nightmare is. Well, it's hit the halfway stage of the race.
I think everyone's going to box for mediums if they started on the hards, and then they'll just have to go to the end. And it's not going to be a choice, it's going to be an instruction that the tyres will go to the end, because they can't really afford
Hardy's
to box.
going in again, yeah. So Hardy's going to, I assume, swap to a fresh set of mediums, or he could go hards. I don't know what he'll pick.
It's a new
Probably
lobby,
the...
so they should have 2 brand new sets of mediums unless they purposefully chose the softer allocation. And this time
Oh,
he
he
is...
gets a new front wing as well, and he's also going to fresh hards.
They're going to be slower at the start, but by the end they might be better, but I'm not sure if it's
Hardy did have
worth it.
good pace, so I reckon he can stick with people, but with that front wing change, he is going to be dropped to 7th place.
You might just want to try and sit back and wait until the end of the race for everyone else's tyres to
That's a speeding into the pit lane penalty for Lowry.
When will game give me a helicopter shot? That is the real question.
That's what we all want to see is... I'm hoping no one else disconnects. If I have to invite another person, I'll be honest, my game will probably crash. I think I've used all my invites now. As Hardy scrapes the wall. That's not what you want to do under a safety car. Alright, I'm going to do one last invite. Is tier 2 as spread out as this? Tier 3 is normally not as spread out as this. I think it's just a Singapore thing. But no, tier 2 is not spread out. Barely. Chris sort of dominated last week, but yeah. That was sort of just Chris being not challenged after he got a good restart and got away.
This safety car is really good for Arjun, who is now right in the back of Hoy, who is right in the back of Ennis.
I've managed to do another invite without my game crashing again.
Let's go.
So there we
He's
go.
back in. It'll be interesting to see whether Ennis gets a good restart or whether out of the final corner on cold mediums he gets a massive tank slapper, which then allows the person behind to go ahead, or whether when the throttle limiter is removed going through the final chicane he'll get a bit too greedy and bin it into a wall, which we know is possible to do and not too difficult. And I should probably stop making fun of you, that race that you didn't win, that 100% race around here, which was a bit painful, that we once did together. Hopefully the safety car will be in this lap, although there are still some cars which are quite a bit behind. I
feel like this could be more carnage off this restart.
Is Callum Pearce a lap and a half behind? I think he is. A lap and a half. That is not ideal.
Yeah. Sam is now trying to figure out how to regain control of his car.
Now getting a curb shot from the game. Uh-oh. Game won't let Sam take control of the car, which is not that good. If I am completely honest.
Yeah.
And if we look at the chat, apparently there are many facts being conveyed, which I do agree with. As right now, Callum Pearce might be set to set a PB under safety car.
Wait, what? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's only like a 10th down on his best.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a PB on the safety car?
No.
Carl Maxin. So, I mean, Callum's unlapped from one car. Sam is still trying to figure out the spectator menu. And he's in! I think. He's lagging a lot. So you can tell his internet's been having issues. But he's in control of his car.
That is nice. And you're
I
only in
think he's probably
P9. And you're
Yeah.
like not that far off the leaders, so not too bad.
I think the safety car should come in this lap
Ooh.
unless it's going to stay up forever again.
Oh, please don't say we have that bug again. As Sam's ran into the back of the Williams like twice under the safety car so far.
Safety car's in good. Ooh, I started to worry for a moment. I didn't know how long we'd been underneath the safety car.
It's only been 3 laps. As Ennis is backing off from the safety car. So when it's in, he can go max pace.
Someone interested. Another league I'm in about 8-9 races, 1st to 13th, 15th has been within 1 second. Oh, Sam's disconnected again. He almost made it to the restart.
Almost.
Yeah, in qualifying in F1 at the start of this season, half of the grid was within, what was it, 2.5 tenths?
I don't remember.
Which was ridiculous.
All
I know it
remember
was
is
something
that
ridiculous like that.
I was
I
well
think it
off
was
the back
3
of them.
tenths.
That's all I remember. Is
The
Ennis,
race
when is
pace was a
Ennis
bit
going to
different,
go?
but yeah.
Where are you going
Yeah,
now?
3 tenths it was. Thank you, Adam. As there goes Ennis, restarting once again.
And he's caught Arjun off guard.
Well, David. You mean?
And
David's the second.
Arjun. They've both been caught off. There's some action at the back. As Sam's AI has decided now is the time to box.
Is Ian and Johnny in tier 1? Yes, they are. And Ian has won both races.
We need to make sure Arjun doesn't win this one. Not this Arjun. Arjun Bilbass.
Yeah.
I've been thinking up a strategy that might work.
I mean, we've got Jacob at Singapore who is like really close to the world record.
Oh, do we have another TT sweat?
Back in SRL, Johnny seemed like he was a bit better. I mean, well, Johnny only recently got back into the game because, well, he couldn't play because his wheel wasn't working, so I mean, I guess that's it. But anyways, we should probably focus on what's going on in this race, but to be fair, the restart's been a bit calm, which is a positive surprise. And I've now started doing the thing where I extend my S's.
Oh, yes.
Brilliant. At least there's not a, what's it called? An S in brilliant. So I can say that.
Brilliant.
Round to the line. Ennis sets the fastest lap and David Hoy goes, nah, I want that, thanks. And think I'm gonna be fastest lap for David Hoy. But that's going to change by the end of the race, I am sure.
Some of box for softs at the end.
I'm now
Extend the
really
eye.
conscious of
Brilliant.
I'm now conscious of what I'm saying and how I'm pronouncing words because, yeah.
Now that you've mentioned the S thing, it's now starting to
Because
really
you
annoy
mentioned
me.
it to me last week.
Yeah, and
And
now
now I
that
think
now
about
you've
it.
mentioned it on stream, it's now started to annoy me. Although I didn't notice it until you mentioned it, so I guess that is a good sign.
I probably wasn't doing it that much.
Yeah, Harley's right on the back of Darius.
He's not going to go for a move into the Singapore sling.
He
No.
is not.
Oh, he has given him a bit of a shunt though.
Bit of a wackaroony.
Yeah. Good way to put it.
If anyone wants a football update, it's still only 4-0 with 55 minutes in and some number of minutes remaining.
35 plus extra time.
How much is extra time?
It varies depending on how much stoppage there is during the game, like the ball going out of play and stuff.
So much time.
I sort of do.
Oh, someone's
math
gone
on
deep.
that as yellow flags. Oh.
Oh. And
Hello,
that's another
safety car.
safety car. And I think the safety car will get out ahead of Ennis, so those at the back will be able to box. Mitch is going to be the... I think Mitch is the first driver who has the option.
And he takes it.
Is Mitch about to pull off a masterclass?
So far then, we've had
He's on
no safety cars
he's on
until
the
lap
mediums.
14, then all of a sudden we've had 2.
I think Mitch might have pulled off a masterclass. A strategy masterclass. Intentionally be slow, so that way that you get to box under safety car. I think these strategies only come from someone as clever and genius as Mitch Snape. Apparently, according to Zeke, SCs calls SCs. They reproduce.
Too much S. Not enough C. Too much safety, not enough cars racing around the track.
Oh yes. Hopefully the safety car won't be out for 3 laps, because otherwise I would get bored and
There's some overtaking
sad.
going on.
That is...
Oh, and there's a front wing gone.
Whose front wing is gone?
Pavic. He's lost an end plate.
Oh, has Philip done a heroic into Saint Devot? Oh, it's a
some heroics through the Anderson Bridge.
Oh,
I didn't really see
it's a
what
Haas
happened, I
front wing
saw-
end plate, which means that the car will automatically get black and orange flagged, because that's how Haas's with front wing damage work in F1 or something.
At least it's not an AlphaTauri, otherwise they'd be getting the tape out.
That was so funny when they just taped the wing when it broke.
Not sure how legal that is. What time is it?
It's
20
18
past
past. Then we've still got 10 laps. Is there a
Who's
time
in the pits?
limit?
I wish there was a 1 hour time limit, that'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? If they actually did that. Like, there's actually a 2 hour time limit on 100% races. Why can't we have
I
a
think
1
it's
hour
on all
time limit?
races. And I can verify that the time limit actually does exist, because I actually have hit it in an actual race where we weren't trying to engineer it.
And
Also, Harley's in the pit. For some...
2 Haas cars with penalties hurts. I'm part of the Haas team. Yeah, David's filling in today for you. And, well, he's in second place, but yeah, the penalty's not ideal.
It's really
And so
not
Mitch's
ideal.
masterclass has dragged him up to 7th already.
Isn't he one position higher than he was when the safety car came out?
He's 2
Ooh.
because of Harley and Pavic.
No, but I think he lost one position by boxing.
Oh yeah, to Marcus Carlos, yeah.
But he
Oh.
has new tyres,
Yep.
which will be quite a big deal at Singapore.
Do we think Ennis is going to win this? I mean, Harley's not here to challenge
Probably.
him, but David feigns some massive pace. However, he has a penalty. So if Ennis got a penalty, then Arjun would win the race because he'd be able to stick with David like he has been doing the whole race. But then that all depends on if David then sticks with Ennis. As the safety car's in this lap, it's not going to be staying out forever, which is good. There's 12 drivers remain. 10 laps remain. I just extended the S on that massively. And an unparalleled amount of carnage could occur.
Yes.
As well, with later safety cars, people decide to sometimes go a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Fighting for position, so hopefully that doesn't happen here and we have a nice clean race to the end.
When will Ennis go? The safety car's already in the pit lane, so no more throttle limiter, so he can go when he wants.
And he's going... No, he's just doing a burnout.
Leaving it very late.
Alright, he's gone
And
now.
he's gone.
He's managed to get an okay restart, especially since David had cold tyres there, I saw, and had to take that one carefully as his yellow flags. That is Marcus Carlos who's spun round. He's also...
And that's another position for Mitch Snape.
Yep. At the moment, Ennis has already extended his gap to 8.5 temps. He's driving away here. David, I don't think, got his tyres up to temperature enough.
Yeah, he seemed to be struggling on all the restarts with the rear. There's also Harley is up to 8th place, and he's got those much fresher tyres. Although, what was that? Again,
I don't...
he did the thing with the braking.
Could Callum move out the way?
That is odd.
Or was Callum on AI?
I
Oh,
don't-
Mitch picked up a 3-second time penalty. That doesn't help the masterclass he was trying to pull on.
Yeah. Maybe it's part of an even bigger brain thing that we're not really
the
sure
fact that
about.
everyone else is going to get 6 seconds in the last 9 laps.
Yeah. Harley's been having problems with just braking mid-corner.
Yeah, I don't know why he does that. As apparently there's been a brake check on Pavic according to in the chat.
Which gave wing damage apparently, and I would say that did seem a bit iffy. Though it might be
Yeah, I'm not
equipment,
sure.
but that is not what you want to be doing.
Even if it is equipment, penalties obviously are still going to apply. As, well, you can't just turn up, ruin someone's race and say, oh, my controller wasn't steering left enough, because that's not how it works. As it's rightly being said, blue flag.
Karl Mack's got 3 seconds now, and is under a lot of pressure from Harley Davidson, who I think has made the move stick. And this time he does not brake mid-apex.
Yeah.
And will instead be looking forward to try and get past Mitch Snape to become the lead runner on new mediums. As he's really closing into the back of Mitch. He's pushing him through the apex. He's really pushing him through.
The cars in front as well, though.
Is he going to go for a move here? I don't think so. Mitch is still ahead. But Harley is using a lot of battery.
That's Brendan. David has 6% less than Ennis, so do the maths. AKA 60.
Harley spun!
Oh! Harley's gone. And that's damage.
I think
Oh, and he's reversed. Here we go, here's the 12-point turn.
12-point
As
turn complete. Should we go
Harley's now
back to the
out the way.
leaders?
Callum's ghosting through Pavic. This is... It's not how you follow blue flags. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
also, if you didn't know, our rule on blue flags is for, I think you have a sector to move out the way, then for each corner complex, because the marshal posts are a bit iffy to track sometimes.
Now you just
Each
you
sort
just go on find the event notes from Real F1 and then look at the track map. Then you have it there, and that's good.
yeah, so but we use corner complexes, so Callum could be picking up a fair 15 penalty points or something.
I don't understand
He
how.
stays where he is. Oh, hello, Mitch and Kyle side by side, and I got a bit scrappy. Mitch trying to defend his position.
Seems to have
and
defended
that's
it
dropped.
successfully so far. Yeah, Callum's gonna get a fat penalty if reported, I think.
Mitch is all over the place here, and Kyle's just trying to get past. He's gonna send one, and I tell you something, they really like going side by side, and
Yeah.
Kyle's now trying to push him right up against the wall to take a tighter line. Mitch is
Ooh.
keeping his nose in, but that almost ended in tears.
Yeah.
There's just a yellow flag, and Pavic has unfortunately spun into the wall, and that's a safety car.
What? That is a safety car. Does Harley have wing damage? Yes. So
What I'd do if I was lapped, I'd just move off the racing line. Yep, and that's what you're supposed to do. Especially at a safety car restart, just, yeah,
yeah, what I tend to
move
do
off
is
to the
just
side, let everyone through, and...
like let the entire bunch of people through. Who's boxed? Who's like Arjun and Lucas
Rudd
are in the pits, and they're going for a set of brand new soft tyres. It'll be interesting to see what they can do with these tyres, because
I think a good thing for those two is they don't have penalties. I don't think.
Although I've just realised that Marcus is literally a lap down, so the safety car might be out for an additional lap, so we might only get 4 laps of green flag instead of 5.
Oh, Harley's retired in the pit lane.
I don't know why a championship leader would do that, because you're gonna get 1 point in this race most likely, even if you just drove around. Yeah, the softs will be quick.
I think maybe he's having massive technical issues now.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we go.
Seems like Ennis will take the championship lead after the end of this race.
David Hoy is not far behind, though, and I don't think he's going to win this race.
Yeah, and he's got that penalty, and his mediums are going to start to feel second hands.
Yes.
If I was race director, I would safety car in this lap and not allow Jeff and Marcus to catch back up.
What's your name, Michael Massey?
Is Marcus going... Actually, I've just had a thought. You know how where the pit limits as Marcus...
Oh, Marcus is retired in the pit lane.
Callum's gonna get a point if he doesn't get disqualified for all of his blue flag things.
He could still get more for blue flags as well.
Yeah, and he's into the pits.
What is 90% race distance?
28 laps. It's gone for mediums, interestingly. used mediums. That I do not understand. I really do not understand. Why is he gone for used mediums instead of new softs?
As Adam has given us the direct amount of 27.9 laps.
How do we measure it if they've been after like 27.89 laps, but then the car moves across the 27.9 margin?
Personally, I'd just say you round it up to the nearest lap and say that you have to make it to lap 28.
Start of lap 28.
Yeah.
Yep, all the finishers are getting points.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even if you're
I mean,
lap
it didn't
down.
look that way at lap 14 when there was no cars out, and then all of a sudden there's 4 cars
Well,
out.
we've had 2 retirements in the pit lane, this safety car. So apparently you need to get around the last chicane. No, it's on lap 28, not lap 27. You need to, at the end of lap 27, you've done 27.0 laps. What is an any goat? Should we ride him with Argent again, like I did for the previous 2 restarts? See if he can do any better on the softs. And he has.
Ennis Ennis led every single corner of this race?
I think so.
Or did Harley get his nose in front at the apex of turn 1 to stop that from happening?
We'll have to look back on the stream. That's chat's job. I'll see how quickly Arjun can dispatch of the ghosted car of Sam Hussein, and then also Mitch, who is on somewhat old mediums, and then this could actually be quite doable for Arjun. He's got 6 positions, no, actually just 5 real positions to make up in 5 laps, and the tyre advantage should be quite large.
Sam Hussein's AI has been dumped down to 9th, and that's going to catch literally everyone out because of that. As Kyle Max already alongside Darius here off the restart, and he's up into the podium places. I think it's going to be close between the 2 of them, and
as the game gave me a terrible...
Mitch is gone.
That is a shame. But I don't get why Arjun decided to overtake the ghost car and start all of that chaos. So now he's 1.1 seconds off. But Mitch spinning means that he's got 4 cars and 4.5 laps, and his tyres should be probably about 3 seconds a lap quicker, which will be about 15 seconds for the rest of this race, and the gap to the leader is only about 4 seconds, I think.
Yep.
Like, he's carrying so much speed through the corners. And he's
Solve
gained,
might get a nice P2 here.
Yeah, with all the penalties. Arjun caught up so much under braking. Hugo asked how is this race still ongoing? Well, we had 1 restart and 3 safety cars. That is how. And it's Singapore.
Ennis has missed out on leading every single part of this race by about 2 seconds on the apex of turn 1.
Well, Arjun thought about sending it on Darius, but didn't make it work as the Alfa Romeos are doing a swap. What's Kyle doing? That is some weird driving as Arjun decides to keep it safe.
Oh!
Is Kyle intention?
Maybe not.
Have they?
Maybe not keeping it safe anymore. He's going a bit aggressive now.
Have they got Kyle as a blocker because he's got the penalty? But Arjun's going to send into the final corner.
Kyle's done some very aggressive defending there and...
goes a bit off track to defend the position, but I think there's a lot of lag as well. As Arjun tries to go around the outside but isn't given any room, as now they go into turn 3.
Arjun, from my camera angle back here, Arjun's teleporting all over the place.
Yeah.
For me, Kyle looks fine. Same with everyone else.
And Lucas Rudd is now up to P5 with 4 laps to go.
And Pavic as well, who almost gets squeezed into the wall, and Lucas was being yeeted.
Yeeted
And
by
Pavic
who?
is just going to take that position. Arjun.
That was... looks so good, and we'll probably get a penalty for that. But
Pavic is on the charge.
Jeff, my man.
And I think Pavic is just going to be trying to get away from Arjun after what he's just witnessed, potentially.
Yeah. But how hard will Karl Mack defend this time? That is the real question.
Can Darius stay within 3 seconds of David Hoy? He's got 6/10 of space across the next 3 laps.
Right.
Oh, Ennis has made a mistake. David Hoy's closed right
And
up there.
Philip gets another 3 seconds. We're cutting the corner. So right now I'm riding on board with Philip, as he is trying to get past the Alfa Romeo of Karl Mack, but so far unsuccessful. We'll check on the batteries now, and Karl has a decent chunk more than everyone
Yellow
else.
flags. Oh, it's just Callum. And we have just 3 laps to go in this race, and there's still a lot of fighting to be done, as Pavic is going to go for the move on Karl Mack shortly, but he doesn't have enough to close in.
I think the softs might already be going off.
Crossing. Yeah, potentially. The battery situation might not also be ideal.
Yeah.
The battery situation isn't ideal for most people, apart from Ennis. Ennis is cruising on 50%. And I think Ennis might be taking this one there.
Keeping it nice and steady.
Here comes Pavic.
Turned on the battery.
Kyle's going to defend the inside. Pavic going to try sneak it around the outside. Not quite close enough.
But
He's
got a
putting the
much
Alfa
better
Romeo under a
exit,
lot of pressure.
but can't go for a move. So
Kyle's defending every part of the track at the same time while it's still legal, because he's not like moving all over the place. I don't know. That's just the nature of Singapore.
Yeah, also the lag on my screen seems a bit heavy.
Who you on board with?
I'm on board with Philip.
For me, I don't have any. Unless I'm watching from Arjun's perspective.
Carl Perez has entered the chat apparently.
Well, 2 laps to go.
I think Arjun's going to be putting Philip under pressure. Well, he probably knows he's got a 5-second penalty, but I think Philip has 6 seconds of track limits. So he might just want to stick behind for now.
This could be a...
It seems like the soft runners haven't been able to get the restart that they would have hoped for.
Yeah. Do you want to know what's funny? The drivers who have done a 1-stop and pretty much stayed on their tyres the whole time are the ones who have performed the best here. Oh, Pavic has been tagged! And Arjun, again, he's taken out 2 drivers.
That's not good.
That's what I call penalty points.
So many clashes. And he took out Harley.
It would be nice. Oh, and Lucas was just gone straight up the escape road.
That's not good for this race. Hopefully he'll be able to get past the ghosted car of...
Mitch doesn't have a front wing, gonna stay there. I don't know what's going on, honestly.
I don't know what's going on either, and it seems like Lucas Rudd is also missing a front wing. He is. Just based off the amount of understeer. Because he might be able to beat Mitch, in all honesty. And also, I'm not sure if ghost cars count for points.
Mhm.
I'm not exactly sure what the rules are, but I'm gonna probably have to take a screenshot of them to make sure someone doesn't sneakily edit them post-race, as has happened in other leagues, which shall not be mentioned.
Mhm. Uh,
David
David,
seems somewhat close to Ennis, and they're so much further up the track.
he needs to get DRS because he might be able to pull out of the range of Zolf if he can. That's going to be a really close down to the wire here.
Yeah.
As Zolf has closed back in, but has lost it again on the exit of the corner. Can Zolf get P2? Is the question now. He's got 4 tenths to gain in the final sector. As Callum gets a 3-second time penalties.
I think that's his first of the race, and it's on the final lap that he'll be doing.
As I don't think Zolf's going to be quite close enough. It's going to be P3 though, as around the final corner now comes Ennis, and yeah, he's being dominant today. However, he hasn't had it easy, per
Yeah.
se. He's had people always on keeping him on his toes, keeping him having to think, but at the end of the day, if no one can get past you, then, well, there you go.
Also, great defense by Kelmac.
Where's
to
Mitch
get
going?
P4.
What sort of line is that? And that's going to let Lucas rud through. And unless Mitch tactically just let him through for reasons that we don't know, as Mitch takes the off-roading line.
P9 for
Interesting.
Mitch, although probably P8 maybe.
Yeah.
Do disconnected cars count?
Mm,
So
I'll have
Ennis
to
in
read
P1, so you need to add a P to the start of his name. Everyone in chat. P1 and Ennis. P. Ennis.
a driver of the day is a disconnected car.
This game, man.
A disconnected car in P8 is your driver of the day. Ennis also picks up maximum points, fastest lap as well. Wasn't even close. And the race time actually went over an hour. Typical Singapore, really.
That was long. Callum Pierce apparently did a 6-stop. It's not the most... I think I might have seen an 8-stop here before. Which would have been something like inters, medium, soft, inters, wet, inters, soft, or something along those lines. That was in a 100%.
Tell you what we didn't see today, reset to track.
On stream at least.
Yep.
Although I have alien technology that can detect about half of reset to tracks without any direct POV. Carl said that he can be interviewed, and he's currently in talking to, so Luke, if you want to drag him into the commentary box now, that would be appreciated.
Use this a minute, like. We're gonna get David, Ennis, and Darius in as well. If you'd like to ping them, so I'll move Carl in. Why not?
How are you guys doing?
Good.
All right.
P4 today. Do you think you could have gotten any better?
No, not really, because you know, like, I actually let my teammate pass, because you know, like, I had the second 3-second penalty. I wasn't gonna gain that, so I wasn't like going extra slow. I was just going slower just because my tires, and I was just defending for all my life until the soft runners' tires went off, and they did, thankfully. And then the sergeant crashing someone that actually got P4 overall, so I'll take it. So P4 and P3 for Alfa good points.
Yeah. Yeah, your defending there was
defending.
very strong.
Yeah, I was going for loud, not gonna lie. I was actually sweating, literally, but yeah, it was good though. It was too close though.
has anyone else come in for an
Yes,
interview?
we have David and Ennis. So let's move over to David, who got P2 in the end after just about avoiding the penalty range of Darius right at the end there. But you looked like you could challenge Ennis, but Ennis was just able to keep ahead. You were able to stick in the DRS occasionally, sort of hovering around that 1 second range, but in the end, obviously with the penalty, not quite close enough today.
No, David was fantastic, in fairness to him. I actually dropped back like 7/10 in the last lap, so he was very, very good. And a big thank you to my teammate for letting me past. I realised what he did as soon as he got past me on the restart. Yeah, and it was just fair play to him. Like, and he defended, he defended like a lion. So big thank you to him.
Yeah, we had Kyle obviously mention about the team play there as hold up, I'm just looking at something. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my YouTube.
The YouTube stream seems fine from my end.
I'm just trying to get all the gaps and stuff up. Anyways, that is that 2 podiums in a row now? Obviously, I think the first one was after penalties, but it's a good start for you there, Darius. Obviously, only having done the first 2 races. But
yeah, it's good. I'm happy. I'm definitely happy.
Yeah, I think that keeps Alfa Romeo also top of the constructors at the moment.
I think that's because Ennis hasn't got a teammate, right?
Yeah, Ennis's teammate is non-existent. Let's say.
Yeah, no, he was too fast today. He was very good. In fairness to him,
yeah,
which I'm sure he'll be happy about.
Oh, fucking very happy, mate.
Yeah, I really thought I was going to get David at the end, and then he just pulled out something. I don't know, like it was on 17 lap old mediums or something, and he just pulled a whopper of a final lap.
It was a better lap than my qualifying lap. I'm convinced. It felt like it.
No, you were stellar. You were stellar. Like, no way. All props to you. Because I thought I was going to pip you then going into into lap 30, and then you got some extra juice at the end.
I'm like, I don't know what it was, to be quite honest. Maybe I hooked a lap up or something. I don't really know. But I thought I was done for. But God knows. I haven't really got anything to say on that. Probably just got a bit lucky with it, to be fair. I was just so focused on the 3 second gap. I just thought, well, and I thought this pretty early on after I got my penalty. I was probably never going to get within closing distance of Ennis, and even if I was I realistically going to pull 3 seconds? No. So I thought, I'm not going to take the leader out potentially or do anything stupid. It was just focusing on the gaps behind. Thankfully, you and your teammate kept Iron behind. Because I saw him on softs in P5 at the end of the restart, and I thought, oh god, I'm done for.
Yeah, because they pipped me at the start on the safety car restart. My teammate pipped me, and then I think he kind of realized he has a penalty, and he can't actually get anywhere. So he played the defensive role, and just fair play to him. Like I think him and Arian, I'm not sure if they came into contact with each other, but they were going at it very, very hard.
He dropped off. Like I was looking at the tower, and obviously I think he was P5 without any penalties. And I looked back over at the tower, obviously only a glance, because I didn't want to kill myself or anything. But I saw like 6 seconds next to a soft runner, and I was like, that's not Iron, where's he gone? And thankfully that kind of took some of the pressure off, but you were keeping the pressure on right until the end. It was very close.
Yeah, it was great racing.
Yeah, and props to you, props to basically anyone who kept it clean, but especially Ennis as well. I think you were on another planet today. You were rapid.
Thank you.
Whoever was in the Red Bull was a menace to society. They dive bombed me about 4 times.
Well, that was either the GOAT or his teammate?
I think it said the pizza man on my screen or something.
Oh,
I
that's
just
the
kept
goat.
looking over, and he just every
That's the
time, like he just reckless, just dive bombing me out of nowhere. And I'm trying to keep my wings on, like.
Do love a good Mitch dive bomb. He's my teammate in another league, and like if I DNF, then I'll just onboard with him for a bit until I see a Mitch dive bomb.
By the way, he's ahead of you in the standings in that other league, and there's
Thanks
only
for the
one
reminder.
round left.
Thank you very much. Hey, no spins in this league this season. I'm doing okay.
Yeah, 2 podiums in a row. I mean, the podium has been exactly the same twice in a row now. Just a different order for first and second. So that's interesting.
Yeah, nothing to worry about there. It's all good.
You were very good in China, though, David. You were untouchable in China, if I remember straight.
I think you guys are also very good as well. I think literally, if it weren't for the fact that I had a tendency to like China in the first place, I don't think I'd have done very well. It's not like it's a track that many people like. But
yeah,
obviously
it's
I
not
can't
like,
exactly rely on that for every race, so I think there'll be a lot of close fights amongst a lot of different drivers.
But we're going to Canada next, or Spa?
Canada.
Canada's a bit of a bogey track for me. I like my penalties on it, so yeah.
If anyone wants a football update, Korea has scored 1 more goal than Brazil has since the last update. So now it's 4-1 to Brazil.
Oh, let's go. Korea, you're doing great. Keep up the good work.
They're already in extra time.
Speed run it.
But
Use it.
anyways, Canada
Just
next week.
Take out like 3 Brazilian players, give them really bad injuries.
We've got Canada, which is a bit of a pain for track limits, but then we've got Spa, which is pretty spicy. Then it's Zandvoort.
Oh, Zandvoort's on the calendar.
That we
Zandvoort's a
actually-
track that's very hard to overtake, though.
Track's
Yep.
very hard to keep it on the road for me, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I think you get the max safety cars in Spa anyway. Was it 4, isn't it, I think?
Yeah.
4 safety
Yeah.
cars and 2 virtuals, I believe.
Yeah, you'll definitely get 4 safety cars in Spa. You can put money on that.
And there's only 22 laps. So you're basically saying that half of them will be under safety car.
Yes.
I've seen people bin it under safety car before. So
I've seen it
it's
a
definitely
lot,
possible.
especially at this
Yeah.
track.
To be honest, this was quite a clean race, though. Like nothing happened for 14 laps or so.
Yeah, the start was quite quiet, and then fireworks went off.
Yeah, I made a mistake with my setup today with my tire pressures. They were just they were way too high. They're like in the 105 to 107.
I noticed that
region.
in qualifying.
Jeez.
But you could have
Yeah.
fixed it for the
Jesus
race.
Christ.
I
Speaking
did. I
of-
lowered it. I lowered it for the race.
Yeah, but your tyres were still boiling. Like, what pressures were you running?
I think it was in the 23s.
I go by
Ooh.
clicks, not full pressure. So is that like
It definitely wasn't full pressure. It was just under half, I think, if I'm correct.
what?
Yeah, it was quite. Like I thought I lowered it quite significantly afterwards.
I guess not
After
enough.
qualifying. Yeah.
And speaking of tire pressures, I got a really weird warning in the middle of one of my hard, well, not hard stints, one of the medium stints before safety cars and stuff, saying that Budget Jeff couldn't detect tire pressures in one of my tires, and I had a sensor issue
Yeah,
in
that's
a
so
no
weird.
faults online race.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
I flicked to look at it, and my rear right was on like 105 or something, and then I backed off a bit, and then it was fine. I thought, oh, I must have just ran the tire pressures up after I warmed the tires or something, spinning the wheels, and then they just never went above 98. So I was like, well, thanks, game. Love a good scandal. But well, that was pretty good. Can't really complain. Nothing really
I just
happened in the
connected as
first
well,
stint.
actually.
Really?
Didn't Yeah, I disconnected. I lost 2 places by the time I came back.
Oh,
Yeah,
ouch.
because I didn't see that I disconnected. I heard it on stream, and then I'm like, "Why is everybody leaving the session?" Then I realized, "Oh wait, it's me." There's not the session.
Yeah, the lobby
Right.
split, I think. That happened to someone I was racing with yesterday, and that was in a non-crossplay lobby, so it's not crossplay's fault, just the game
Oh, okay.
being bad.
When
Oh,
was the new update released? Was that today or yesterday?
today,
Oh, not a new update thing then. Are we surprised?
No, we are not surprised with this game.
no.
Jesus.
All right, boys, I'm going to call it there. Congratulations to you lads, and well done.
Yeah, good racing. It was a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, GG to you guys. Congratulations to Ennis as well. Probably a very well deserved
thank you.
podium.
Yeah, stellar stuff, mate.
Thank you.
Take care, boys.
Yeah, see
Bye-bye.
you later.
Bye.